Yo, yo, what's going on, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, ages all over the world? Welcome back to another episode of the Gomu Gomu No Talk podcast, a podcast where we talk everything, all things Straw Hat related, One
Yep.
Piece related. I'm your host, Lyle. Also go by Boy Online. What's going on, guys? And with me, my co-host, the lovely Austin. Say what's up, Austin.
What up, lads? Welcome back to another episode of the
Welcome
Gomu
back.
Gomu No Talk podcast. I think we're on episode 9 now.
I think
Uh,
it's episode 9. Yeah, I don't know how many episodes it's been,
yeah, I believe
but
this one's 9, in which I guess next week it's gonna be a big milestone, which
I
is
think
10.
I think it's crazy because I think every episode I say I don't know how many episodes it's been.
I
So
know.
I you know what? Okay, episode 9.
Hmm.
This is episode 9. Cheers to episode 9. I don't know if you got water
Yes.
next to you. Cheers
Oh,
to episode 9.
cheers.
Okay, so yo, you there?
Yeah, you
Yeah, I'm
right
looking at
there.
you. I'm looking. That's
Yeah,
the guy. That's the guy. He's not subscribed.
yeah,
Hey,
definitely
I'm
not.
just saying, if you're watching this video and you made it to this far, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a comment, like the video.
Mm-hmm.
Helps us out a lot.
Yep.
So today we've got a pretty short podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There's only an episode that came out this week.
Yep.
Only episode came out this week.
11:29.
It
Yeah.
was a very good episode. It was a very good episode. So
Dude,
we're
it
gonna
was
get
a
into that
banger.
later.
Yeah.
So before we get into our agenda, I do want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
just the future of this channel in terms of like upload schedule and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, this week has
Um.
been pretty hectic for both of us.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know. We
so
both had a really
so
long week.
so I just will say moving forward, since we're gonna be more free,
Mhm.
uploads will be a lot more frequent.
Yes.
And earlier in the week, that corresponds to the episode coming out.
Because
So
currently
this
we've
is
been
coming out a
pretty
little
late.
later.
Yeah. When in
Yeah,
terms
we've
of
been
our
pretty late
uploads.
because,
Hmm.
but hopefully, starting next episode, we're gonna be recording a lot more sooner. Things
Yeah.
will come out more corresponding dates and times and whatnot. Just
Hmm.
for the release of the content.
And even in general, I think
Um,
we have just a lot of content like backlog that we've been wanting to record, but like we've just had a pretty busy 2 weeks, I feel like. So
mm,
I think we should be getting more content out in the future as well, besides like the podcast episodes. I mean, we've been talking about something that's that we're currently working on or planning for the future. So
can we
um
talk about it? Should
I feel like we can give them a hint, you know.
should all right.
I feel like we should.
Um, it'll be just the full just send it or
Yeah,
just the hint.
I think we could just send it. I mean,
Yeah.
I
So
mhm.
we're gonna just basically watch the movies and put them in
Yes.
a YouTube series where we talk about it, we explain what's going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's
I think it's gonna be so much fun.
yeah, yeah.
Because and it's gonna be a lot. That's also a lot of content because there are currently, I believe, there's 15 movies out.
15.
Uh,
I thought it was like 9.
no, there's actually 15. But some of them are like, some of them are just like, I think the third movie's like basically just the Chopper arc, but just condensed into a movie. And then there's like an Alabasta one as well. And then
Okay.
there's like, well, that's the thing is I don't know anybody who's watched. I mean, most of these. I know people watch like the more
I think
recent ones.
Film Red is like the most like popular one.
Yeah, Red came out last year, 2 years
I
ago. That
think
one's pretty
people,
popular.
I think people also like. I see a lot of stuff on like Gold. I thought Gold looked
Yeah.
pretty fucking sick.
Okay.
I
Cause
see. I know
Lau,
a lot of people talk
you've
about
never watched any of them, right? Have you watched
never,
any of them? Okay.
never,
Yeah, because
never any.
I brought this up to Lau because even when we were watching, well, when he was going through One Piece, I was like, yo, one day we gotta like check out some of these movies because I watched a few of them. I've watched probably about like five or six of these. So like, but they're definitely the more recent ones like Z, Gold, Stampede. But I think we should just go from the beginning, you know. see how well they hold up. Um, Maybe do a review, and then I feel like at the end we could definitely like rank them in some sort of order or something. But I think that
Yeah.
would be a really fun
No,
project.
I, I actually, it's crazy because like for a lot of like anime and just anime in general, like I don't
Mhm.
actually watch the movies, like
I
because
don't
I
think
feel like
most people don't though, but there's also not
yeah,
many like normally they're not good because they're not canon, so like the story's kind of like goofy or
even
whatever.
for like filler too, like I've
Yeah.
never I think the only filler I've seen from One Piece was the dragon one right before we entered the Grand Line. I forget what that one was called,
Yeah, I
but
forgot about that
I think
one.
do you know? I think that'd be pretty good too. Is talk about the filler arcs
Filler
as
arcs,
well.
yeah. I also thought about that as well. But again,
Yeah,
I feel like all this stuff, like we've been talking about it, and we have a lot of ideas backlogged. That I guess we're a lot more free now, so there should be more content coming out, and that should be a lot of fun. So I
um,
guess, yeah, and even like
anything
before,
else?
yeah, before we even get into this next episode, like I mean, I saw online apparently the recap episode we had last week of I think it was like the Chopper and Carrot recap episode. I think it was like one of the most disliked episodes. I don't know if it was like in general on Crunchyroll or just for One Piece, but I saw that that was going around. Like apparently it was getting like bombed with dislikes. And I know you didn't
Have
watch it,
you?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
I
gonna say, did
actually
you
I
watch it?
watched it, and I mean I could see why, especially since I think where it came from most people was like they took 6 months off to obviously work on these future episodes. So I think people were just generally dissatisfied with the fact that we got a
You
recap
know, even more.
episode. What, probably? Let me check actually. It's probably like, I don't know, 6 episodes in, like after this 6 month break
Mm,
or something like that. But I mean, I again, it was filler, so like there was like for me there was no expectations. But I just thought it was nice seeing I guess like I guess Kuma's story so far in the One Piece story, as well as like Bonnie and their connection to the Straw Hats, and like seeing where they were when we first saw them, into I guess where we are right now. And I mean, I feel like it was placed really well since we are getting the backstory, or we got the backstory this past weekend. But
yep.
I again, it's just filler, so I didn't really take it too hard. I just thought it is what it
No.
is, you know.
So is it the most disliked, or is it one of, or just one of the most disliked?
I don't know. I thought I read that it was like the most disliked One Piece episode.
That's crazy. But I mean, like, to be honest, like, I guess I can't really complain because I think that week we had a manga chapter,
Oh
and it was a
yeah,
really good
we
one
did.
too. I
Hmm.
forgot which one. I forgot, but like it was one last week, right? So like I wasn't really complaining, but at the
Hmm.
same time, if I was an anime viewer, I would get really pretty
I can
upset by it.
understand.
But I mean, like, dude, I'm the type of guy that like as long as the quality is good,
Hmm.
stuff should be able to get like back pushed back a little bit because I don't want something rushed. And
I
I
agree.
understand they had 6 months. They probably had something to do last minute. I don't know I don't know why. I don't know what went on. But
Hmm.
maybe it was planned. Who knows?
Yeah.
Uh, but shit, man, there's a lot of stuff. It's like as long as it's good,
Hmm.
I could wait a week.
Yeah. No,
I
I
ain't gonna
agree.
die. Maybe
Hmm.
maybe in that way. But
Fingers crossed.
um, but yeah, man. No, that's interesting though. I didn't see anything about that. So that's pretty
Hmm.
funny.
Yeah. I just thought that was an interesting like thing that I saw. But I guess besides that, like, should we just jump into the not the chapter,
Oh my,
the episode?
yeah,
Yeah. So we
yeah, yes,
had
yes, yes.
episode 1129 titled "Kuma's Pass: Better Off Dead in This World." And
Okay,
dude, yeah, can we
before
just
we
talk about
go,
the? Oh yeah, go.
I want to know how many episodes do you think this backstory will last? I
Dude, I
think
think I already so I actually also saw somewhere somebody posted the titles for like the next 3 or 4 episodes. I think that I think it's only gonna be 3 episodes, including this one. So I think
All
it's
right,
like two more.
that's a good.
I think it was either
That's a
three
good
or
one.
four. I forgot, but yeah, I
How
think
many?
there's
How many
only.
episodes are? How many episodes are like backstories usually? They're like I think like Frankie's is like pretty long, right? Like 5 episodes or something.
Oh, dude, I
I might
don't
be trip. I
remember.
might be tripping.
That was so long ago for me. I actually don't
Yeah,
remember.
but
But yeah, but I mean, I feel like this deserves like a few episodes. Like it's really it's so good.
100%.
Um,
Yeah, I love this episode. We're gonna talk about more about it when we get into it. So,
mm,
I guess yeah, let's just jump right back in.
mm,
Uh, so right to start, you know, we left off where we go back to where we left off in the previous episode. You know, they do the whole cliffhanger, Bonnie attacks Saturn.
yeah, stabs him right in the
That's it.
beard.
But he did not give no fucks
I
at
know,
at all.
I
That
know.
shit's so funny,
Hmm.
and it's just like he was. I thought that shit was great when he was like, "Dude, if I wanted to dodge, I would have done so.
Yeah.
Okay, this is no big deal. I don't give a fuck."
Hmm.
And I thought it was cool too seeing the other Marines like react like, "Oh shit, this is what Elder looks like. We need
Yeah.
to we need to do something." But like,
Hmm.
I thought Saturn's presence, um, his aura. I guess we could say, right. I know we ranked him
Yeah.
low on our tier list
No.
for aura tier list, but
Yeah.
like as like an anime, if I was an anime viewer,
Oh yeah.
I'd be fucking shitting my pants.
His
You know,
aura in these
obviously,
episodes is pretty insane.
yeah. Obviously, I know he gets shit on later on, but
Yeah. But
as an
as
anime,
of
if I
right
was an
now,
anime
dude, he is
viewer,
him. Yeah.
yeah, he's him. He's him.
Dude, I thought it
So
was so funny because obviously like Bonnie stabs him and Saint Saturn's like, okay, like I could have easily dodged that, you know? But I let you hit me.
yeah.
But the way he's looking at her, it's like the way you look at like a mosquito when it's on your arm, you know? Like he's
Yeah.
just like, damn, like that's annoying, but like it is what it is. Like you can see he's like not phased at all. He's just more of just annoyed. But
Um,
yeah, everyone's like reacting, and then I don't know if you saw, but all the Marines like take aim and they start pointing out like their guns. But dude, there was
pointed her
one,
head. Pointed
yeah,
her head.
yeah, they're just all pointing at her. But dude, there was this one guy, and I had to pause it and go back, and I'll just send it to you in the Discord, dude. Who is this guy?
Is
And
it the
what
guy
is
with
going
someone's
on?
head?
Yes, but everyone's pointing their guns, and dude, this guy just looks and just like triangulates his hands, and I'm just like, dude, what is this guy about to do? Like, what?
Oh my god! Can you put that up
Yeah,
on the
I was
screen?
I'm gonna put it up, but like, dude, like I literally had to pause and go back, and I was like, dude, who is this guy? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, I like his
I thought
little
it was so
haircut, man.
funny.
Like he got the middle part of his hair is dyed and everything, and so
Dude,
is his beard. This is crazy.
yeah,
That's a
his beard
crazy.
is it the middle or is it
Was
the
that?
yeah? It's also the middle.
Is this in the manga?
I
What
don't
is this?
I don't know. But also, what is that? Like, is this a sword? Is this a
I
help?
thought that was like
Like,
a devil fruit,
yeah, I don't
whereas his
know.
head is just a fucking blade.
Yeah, like I saw this and I was like, dude, this took me out for like a second. I was like, okay, like shit is going down, but like, who is this guy? You know, like
Yeah,
we need to pause and take a look at this guy. But I just thought this was so funny, and again, it just goes back to like Oda's character designs and like how cool, but also how
that's how.
goofy some of these guys are.
So like when I was watching, I think I actually had that written. I had it written down. I erased it, but it's
Mhm.
like because I was trying to figure out if that was like a supposed to be like a named character or something because that actually caught me off guard too.
Yeah.
But I was kind of hoping you didn't bring it up because I'm like, who the fuck is that?
No, yeah. I was like, I need to bring this up.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
obviously besides that, like uh what do we see? We see that
I
again,
saw
Saint Saturn does his, and I guess is this hockey or like I'm not even too sure what it is, but like his like
are you talking
mind
about the?
blast, you know?
Oh my god,
Whatever
dude!
he sends out and like just hits
I
them. Like what is this? Do you have
I think
any
it's like a some
clue?
sort of hockey. some sort of hockey
Or is
attack.
it just straight up aura? Like what? I don't
Okay,
know.
but that is hockey. No,
Yeah.
man, it is cool. I think I texted you this. Like,
Hmm.
this is something like completely like I might be shitting on this, but it's like it is a dead horse. Like, dude, One Piece needs to get new sound effects because
I agree.
when I was watching this, I thought I was watching tournament. I thought Topo just pulled up like
Yeah.
from Tournament of Power. Like that's the
Uh-huh.
guy in like I forgot what universe he is. He's the same universe as Jiren. Maybe
Hmm.
because him and Topo look very similar in terms of just
Mm.
they're just a bunch of big dudes with like facial hair. But
Hmm.
it's just like I was watching this and I saw the little fucking like aura attack or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, his hockey attack. Just I'm like, dude, that's Topo. But
Yeah.
like, but then like I rewatch like those scenes to make sure I wasn't tripping, and I am tripping. But at the same time, I'm just like the sounds just need to get they need to switch.
I
It's weird.
agree
It's
because
throwing me
even
off.
because I know you texted me that, and while I was watching it, I had that in the back of my head, and I could just hear the Super Saiyan like powering up sound effects like constantly throughout the episode, like here and there,
Yeah.
and it did take me out for a second, and I do agree, like it
Do
is
you
weird
know
hearing these
what
exact same sound effects like in different universes.
when I was playing the new Dragon Ball, it's not really new, but it's like the most recent Dragon Ball game that came out.
Hmm.
I was just like, dude, am I in a One Piece game?
Yeah.
Because it was like, what the fuck? What is going on? But I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting Toei, it's the same shit.
Hmm.
But it's the same from like the 90s. Yeah, it's throwing me off, which is weird because I'm gonna talk about this later, right? As
Hmm.
much as I'm shitting on the sound effects, dude, the sounds, everything else, right? The music
Yeah.
in
Oh
this
yeah.
episode is crazy, crazy,
Mm.
crazy good.
No,
Um,
but I do know, I do understand. Like some of the sound effects need to be updated or just like changed a little bit. Because I thought I
yeah,
was watching Dragon Ball Z for a second, been playing
yeah,
this episode.
yeah, no, Uh, I'm sorry, I just had to mention that, but
No, I'm glad you
yeah,
mentioned that because I also wrote that down. But
yeah.
I guess going
So
back to the episode, like, yeah, Saint Saturn starts using his mind blast on, I believe he's on Bonnie, and then he also uses it on Sanji, and then we can see Saturn taking out the sword, and surprise, surprise, this guy has regenerative properties, and he just like the blood just completely vanishes and he heals up.
let
Which
me,
I guess at
me
this point, have we seen that before, or is this new?
brand new.
This is brand new, right? Okay.
This is brand new to the anime watchers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if we did see it before with Sabo and the elders, but
I
no,
don't think so.
this is
Yeah.
brand new.
So
I
I
think this
think
is
this is
brand new.
brand new. Which I guess
This is
this is
brand new.
in the anime watchers, like this is a pretty big deal that these guys are seem to be like functionally immortal. You know, like they could just like regenerate
Even in the manga now, it's like what the fuck do we do? These guys are until
until
we gotta get
the
Gia,
most recent
we enter the
chapter.
most recent chapter. We gotta get Gyaban to
Hmm.
help us out. We need him to teach us
Yeah.
his new form of hockey, crypto hockey. And
Yeah.
but like it's uh, we'll get to see it. We'll get to see it. I gotta stay patient, but
Mm.
yeah, dude, like the thing I wanted the Toei to do really well is just make Saturn like give him that aura that we as the manga readers had towards this guy when we were first reading it. Like, dude, how
Hmm.
the fuck are we gonna get this guy down? And they've been doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Shit, man. If I didn't have know what's going on in the future episodes, I would have been shitting my pants. But my pants are well clean right now,
Hmm.
so there's that. But fuck all this shit.
Hmm.
Let's talk about the backstory, man.
Okay.
Let's talk about I fuck Saturn. What was the name of the episode again?
Kuma's
Kuma's.
Pass, Better Off Dead
Yep.
in This World. Bro,
Yep.
that title is actually such
This
a good title.
this backstory. We all knew the manga
Mhm.
readers were waiting for the anime watchers to catch up to this backstory because
Oh
it
yeah.
is cooking, and it starts off really well. It's pretty wholesome at the beginning.
Mhm. Yeah,
Kind of
I
wholesome. We
mean, I guess if we're
see
gonna go into it, um, like right before we go into it, like I believe Saturn is just like holding and like squeezing Bonnie, and it seems like almost like she's kind of like passing out, or like her memories like kind of fading in and out with like the flashback, and it goes to when she was a kid, and I guess like her talks with Kuma, her dad, and dude, okay, sorry to bring this up, but also during this moment, I don't know if you saw, but all the soldiers are again same thing as earlier. They're all starting to point their guns at Bonnie. And dude, did you see this guy? I,
is
dude,
it?
this guy took me out, dude, for a second too, because I was like,
What the?
what? I was like, because at this point,
Is,
everyone just.
I think that's a vice admiral.
I think it is one of the vice admirals, but again, everyone's pointing the guns, and dude, this guy just points his hat, and I was like, dude, is this guy a gun or like what is going on?
That I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to see if that's an admiral.
I think he's a vice admiral.
That's Urban or Vice Admiral Urban.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, he just points and just bends over and points. I was like, dude, like,
He's
what?
cooking. He's cook. Let him
Again,
cook.
he's
Let him
cooking.
cook. Let him
Yeah,
cook.
and then, but besides that, like, we can see like her memories of Kuma, and dude, Kuma's hitting. He's hitting the gritty, dude. Going like with the sound effects of the Warrior of Liberation. Yeah, like doom 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 doom. And yeah, and then I thought the dialogue was so good because you get, and especially since I guess in these flashbacks, the voice actor for Bonnie is like it's Kid Bonnie, and it's asking Kuma like if Nico will come back and will ever not come back, but will come and free her one day. And then we get to actually see Kuma's face because before it was like fuzzy and it was just like kind of like silhouettes almost, and we actually get to see his face, and he goes, of course, and then it
What?
proceeds to the flashback of 47 years ago, Sorbet Kingdom, South Blue.
Oh my god. Yep. Yes. 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 I. But also too, like I really like the way it was animated, like the whole fuzziness. I thought that was
Mm-hmm.
fucking
Oh yeah.
cinema. I'll say
Again, I
that.
thought it was so good, especially since it's her memories of his memories, and we all know like
Mhm.
memories are a lot of the times like very fuzzy or like kind of like silhouetted. So I thought the animation was actually so nice. But going back into Kuma's backstory, we can see, dude, he was a baby boy is born in a church, and it's Kuma, and we get to see his parents, and I think something we get to see both parents, his dad, his mom, and
That's a big ass kid, man.
yeah, that's a big boy, and also his dad is a burly man, dude.
Yeah.
And we could see his
I
dad
can see
mentioning
the
to the
genetics.
doctor, yeah, dude, you could see, he's definitely his son, but his dad is mentioning to the doctor about like his blood, in which the doctor is just like, yeah,
Don't
like I
don't worry
got you.
about it.
I'm not
Don't
telling
worry
anybody,
about it. And
Um, yeah.
next thing you know,
Hey, no,
literally the scene after.
literally the scene
Scene
after,
after.
because again, like between this, the happy, melancholy music starts playing, and I know every time I hear this music, the saddest backstory or the saddest shit is about to happen, and I'm about to be depressed. And you know, it cut, and I thought it was really weird because it cuts to the mid episode visuals, and those are so wholesome. It's like Kid Bonnie, Kuma. I believe one of them's like they're eating, or like they're setting up the table and they're eating,
Mhm.
and it goes into, I guess, more of his backstory, and this is now 4 years after Kuma's birth, and you can see his father is a pastor of the church, which I really like this, especially knowing like Kuma's character design, and like we can see he's always holding the Bible. He's got the fit on, but the
The
doctor, yeah, the
fit.
fit, dude, his fit goes crazy, dude. I will say, but
Yeah.
the doctor comes in running, telling his father. Also, did you notice that his father's name is Clap?
No, I actually never
Yeah,
noticed that.
it's clap, CLAPP, um, which I thought was interesting. I thought that was a really interesting name.
I thought it would maybe to continue the bear names, but
Yeah,
you
but
know, that's pretty cool too.
I thought that was interesting. But the doctor's just like, "Yo, my bad, y'all gotta run," and then they're just like, "What? Like why?" And then literally the government just kicks him. I was like, "Dude, like he didn't even make it that far, you know? He was probably like 3 seconds ahead of these
He was like
guys."
right back.
Yeah,
Guys,
like
they're coming.
it was almost like he brought them. Like at this point, he basically just brought them.
Yeah, it's like guys, they're they're coming. They're here
They're
right now.
coming. Oh, they're not. They're here. Like I
Yeah,
thought that he was gonna give him like at least like a 5 minute head start. But no, they're already there. They kicked him right after he said, "Y'all need to run."
yeah.
But dude, yeah, and you can see his father just pleading with the government, telling him like, "Yo, I'm the only one with Buccaneer
Please.
blood. Like, my wife, my children, they're innocent. Like, just take me, you know." But obviously, dude, they all get locked up, and dude, I Kuma as a kid just looks so cute, and especially in the early on
So
scenes, like he's so happy.
innocent.
He's so innocent. And
So
he's so
innocent
happy.
and has no idea what the fuck is going on.
hmm And then I also thought it
That
was really nice, like when they're all chained up, like his mom is just like comforting him, you know.
yeah. And his dad is fucked up.
Oh yeah, dude.
The CP agents did not give a care.
Yeah,
They actually fucked his ass up. That's a big boy too.
yeah.
Like they fucked him up. But these guys, Kuma and Clap, very gentle giants.
hmm
So
Yep. And
but
then
next it cuts to them and Marriage Wa.
yep.
And also like I know you mentioned this, but it's like yeah, the whole imagery of what we got from Kuma just no care in the world, just playing with them goddamn fucking um them cuffs while his mom's
Yeah.
comforting is very sweet, very
hmm
very sweet, and it's very nice to see them together because what's gonna
Yeah.
happen next
That
is
we're
gonna be
never gonna see
fucking
them together
crazy.
again.
Yeah, we're never gonna see them
Yeah.
together again because next thing you know, they're getting sent out to where they're gonna be stationed at, where who their master's gonna be.
Yeah.
They're telling Kuma, you gotta stay strong, buddy.
hmm
Gotta lock the fuck in. And I
Yeah.
think this is what it actually fucking hits him. It hits him that like
Yeah.
this might be it. This
He
might be
starts
my
to
life.
realize basically how cruel this world is. Yeah, I think it's his mom telling him like that he has to live no matter what. Like no matter how hard life gets, like he has to live, and he just starts bawling, dude. Dude, it's just so sad, dude. This,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they take away his mom, they take away his dad, and they all go their separate ways. And then now next we can see Kuma's a slave, to a celestial dragon, and obviously
And hey,
a
Oda does a really good job of making us hate these celestial dragons because these guys
mhm.
are the ops. This is
Oh
the shit
yeah,
they do to him.
yeah,
He's
he's
just a
getting like
kid at this point,
whipped.
man.
Yeah, he's literally getting whipped
Like
for
how
just
old?
not
Like
being like fast enough, and I'm just like, wait, this guy's like at this point, I mean, he's probably only like what, like 4 or 5 years old. I mean, like again, he got taken away when he was 4, like 4 years after his birth. So like, I don't know exactly how long this is afterwards, but I assume it's like immediately right after that they just became slaves. But
yeah.
again, he's just a slave to the celestial dragon, and he's just crying a ton. And this next
Mhm.
scene, dude, this broke me down, dude, pretty badly. You can see he's like crying a bunch, and then he actually comes across his dad. I don't know exactly where they are. I think it's like one of the like the stations that the slaves just kind of chill at. But
Mhm.
he meets his dad again, and I believe his dad asks him like, "Yo, like how are you?" And dude, Kuma locks the fuck in. Dude,
Yeah, he's like,
he
my
goes
my
from
slave
crying.
is super.
Yeah, he's like, I'm doing fine. My master is kind. Like I'm doing great. I'm so lucky, you know. But dude, that broke me, dude, so bad. And then obviously
You
he's
know,
just like, yo, dad, like, how's mom doing? You know? Oh my god.
does he know? Does he know?
Yeah.
He does not know because it's his dad's like, your mom's dead, buddy.
Yeah.
Tough luck. And then that face he made, dude, I felt that. That
Yeah.
that that like when he just
Dude,
fucking
he starts
balls the fuck out.
bawling,
It's
dude.
it
Dude, he looks like
is it's
yeah. Because again, like his father just straight up telling him, and I mean, like Kuma's a child, you know. He's like, yeah, she's dead, and she's in heaven, and I think it's better, you know. He's like, I think it's better this way that she's in heaven, and I'm just like, bro, this is like a 5-year old kid, you know. And dude, Kuma crying, dude, like it was so sad, but he looks like you know that meme of Chopper crying
yeah,
with the music,
yeah.
like, can we get
I,
much
I, I hope
higher?
I hope this is next. I hope this is next.
Yeah,
They're gonna
I
start
was gonna
adding this.
say they're gonna. This is definitely gonna be the next meme. But dude, yeah, that broke me down, dude. That was brutal. And then there's this like
Um,
dialogue of between like his father and him, telling him to keep enduring what they're going through, and that one day the warrior of liberation will come and save them. And I thought this next segment of like introducing like Nika, the sun god, was like super cool.
yeah, this is when we first get introduced,
Mm-hmm.
or they like I guess where Kuma gets first introduced to Nika, and like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very cool to see how ecstatic Clap is, Kuma's dad, about
Mm-hmm.
like teaching him how about his heritage, I guess, right? Because this is who like the Buccaneers pass it
Yes.
down, who they looked up to when the Buccaneers were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is I guess anyone that was enslaved in the world, they all looked up to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how ecstatic he is, and then it is very sad because as he's
Yeah,
dancing,
bro, his dad's hitting the
we
gritty,
see
going
we
dun, 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 like drums of
yeah,
liberation, you know. And
we,
Akuma looks
drums of
happy here.
liberation and
He
everything,
looks so happy seeing his dad do this dance, and like,
and, and you see the cut, the guy with the gun pulling up, the Son of the
boom,
Dragon,
boom, literally just boom.
and then the slow motion
Yeah,
like
blood
blood into the
splatter.
spot,
My God.
bro. His face just going like happy he still has that smile on his
Yeah,
face
he's just like in
as the blood.
shock. Yeah, like it just goes from
Yeah,
like happy to just shock. Like he does, like it seems like he doesn't even like he doesn't entirely. He's not processing what's going on, you know, or like doesn't even understand like what just happened. It's like crazy, dude. I mean, we both read the manga. I don't remember it being this brutal. Like,
no, it was not
dude,
brutal. I don't think
I
it was.
mean, it was brutal in the manga, but like, dude, this was actually like this ruined my morning.
Yeah.
I watched
Hey,
this
I'm gonna
this
say this
morning.
too. I, I'm gonna say this too, man. To all to if any anime watching this, I'm gonna say it, dude. It gets worse. All right, Puma. It gets worse. Right?
Yeah, which is crazy to say because this episode was already terrible. Like,
Yeah, it gets worse.
mhm.
But
And then it just goes from
hey,
that,
let's
and
let's get
then
past it.
yeah,
God Valley.
cuts
God
to
fucking.
now 38 years ago.
Mhm.
West Blue, they're on some island, and you can tell, there's it seems like there's some sort of like it almost seems like a festival, but it's like a competition, and it's on an island unaffiliated with the world government with a ton of celestial dragons. The introduction of God Valley. I
Yeah.
feel like especially for us, the
Um.
manga readers, dude, this was I got so excited.
Yeah, we finally get to see bits and pieces of it getting animated.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see our boy Saint Figurland Garling get introduced, the young
Yep,
version of
the
him at least.
young holy
We see we
knight, dude, the
we
talk of the town.
I wish I was hoping. I know like his hair color was already revealed before with his older, more present version, but
Yeah,
I was really hoping he did have the red hair,
I was also hoping
to
that too because
show.
I feel like especially for all the manga readers, when I read it, I always assumed his hair was red.
Yeah, I think it
Like
was dark too. I think
it,
it
it,
was
it
darkened too. I
yeah,
gotta.
I felt like when I read it, I was like, oh wow, like this guy, because again, he looks like Shanks, you know, he's a young cutting image of Shanks, so I just associated the red hair. So seeing him with the blonde was kind of weird.
Yeah.
um, but I know like it got revealed before that he did have like blonde hair, but I guess it is what it is. But we get to see him, you know, and everyone's just like, oh, it's him, you know, like.
Dude, maybe Shanks dyes his hair red. Maybe. Just kidding.
Who
But
knows?
like, hey, look, okay, so now we're gonna find out. I guess I guess his twin brother Shamrock is his
What?
hair's red.
Yeah.
So what?
I
But
know.
yeah, but I was gonna say, like, what if Shamrock's hair is fucking blonde? That'd be funny as hell.
I know.
But um,
Hmm.
but yeah, no. Let's back to this. Like God Valley,
Yep.
um, fucking that motherfucker Garling has so much aura, man. Even
Oh
like,
yeah.
I know he's an op, right? And he's one of the
Oh
celestial
yeah.
dragons, dude. This guy is crazy. The
He.
celestial Huz was like,
Yeah,
oh
they
my
were going
God,
crazy.
it's him, it's him.
Yeah.
They're going, yeah. I'm like, dude, stop the glaze. He did nothing crazy, but as this was going on, Kuma's big ass just opens the fucking prison,
Yeah.
the
He
bars,
just
and he's
grabs
just,
the bars and just
where
like,
are you
I'm out.
going?
Yeah.
He just like casually just opens it, and I'm like,
Mhm.
where the fuck are you going? Like
And I guess
you're on
like
an island.
yeah, for the like even before this, like the whole point of God Valley is that it's I guess it's like a manhunt, or it's just basically they just hunt the slaves that they brought, as well as is it just the people um I guess in this town,
The
yeah.
locals. Yeah.
Um so obviously Kuma's just like, wait a minute, like so they're just here to kill all of us? Yeah, I'm out, you know?
No.
But he gets hunted down by the other slaves, bro, which I thought this was brutal.
Yeah.
You know, because
They,
especially
I
since
mean, they told him like
yeah,
they had no choice because if he was going, they would all go down too. So
but like for me, I'm just like, wait, you guys are all going down regardless. Like, at least just dip with him. You know what I mean? At least try. Like, you'd rather.
that's a strong ass kid too.
Yeah,
You have a better chance
I was like, wait, so
just running off with him.
you're more fine with taking this kid back and getting hunted down than just even trying to escape and getting hunted. You know, like regardless, they're getting hunted, right? But dude, they beat his ass, bro. I was like, bro, and you can see like again, Kuma at this I think at this age, he's still probably what? He's probably around like 10 years old at this age. Yeah, he's about like
No, I think he was like
mm, yeah.
maybe like 14. I think
No,
I don't
because he was
know.
born 47 years ago and this is 38 years ago. So he's actually like 9 years old here,
9. Yeah.
which is
Holy
crazy because
shit.
he's little again, he's a young ass kid and
Big
he's
as
about to get hunted. Yeah. Um, and as you
and
know, after
they
they
knocked his
beat their
ass out,
ass,
and they're dragging his big ass just
yeah,
across the field, like,
yep. And
and
then we get to
then
see
the saviors,
mhm,
saviors. You
saviors.
see
Yeah.
Ivankov and Guinea, and what these guys, Ivankov and Guinea, were saying too.
Oh
That shit
yeah,
got me a little bit like
I
I'm
know.
like, yeah, I choose life. And I'm like, I'm not even in here.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
no. Like, no, we're probably gonna win. Like, like, what you guys gonna do? Go and die out there?
Mhm.
Nah, bro, I choose life.
Yeah,
And I'm
and then
like,
yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing young Ivankov and then I guess this character Ginny who we're introduced to. And I know that they said that they're siblings, but are they actually siblings? They said like
then my
I don't know if they're actually siblings or not, or if they say that they're like siblings, you know what I mean?
no, they just like refer to each other
Yeah,
as
because
like,
I in my head I was like, I don't think they're actually siblings, but I think they're just referring to each other as siblings. But yeah, and they're just like, "Ayo, follow us. We got a plan," you know.
yeah.
And then that's
Uh,
it. The episode ends there.
oh my god. All right.
I know.
So we'll get into ratings. You want to get
Mhm.
into ratings first, or you can do some closing thoughts? Or I guess we can do some closing
But
thoughts with the ratings we give it.
yeah, I think they go hand in hand. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10
Okay.
because 8.5 maybe 8.5 9 out of 10. Um, I thought the only parts of them, the only like legit, the only part I didn't like was just the sound effects at the beginning. But after that,
Uh.
in terms of like the cinematography, right?
Mhm.
I love like the cuts. the cuts
Mm-hmm.
like during the flashback when like the screen goes black and it goes to another scene, screen goes black, another scene.
Yeah.
The music and the sound
Yeah.
in this episode goes crazy. Like I remember
Mm-hmm.
like the humming, right?
Oh
Like towards the
yeah.
beginning, like when they were right before they were getting into the flashback,
Mm-hmm.
or like just the music and like I don't even like the music in general was really, really, really good in this
Mm-hmm.
episode. At least I enjoyed it a lot. It made it a lot better.
I
Um
agree.
it was super fucking sad. And it's gonna get even sadder.
Yeah.
Um yeah, this was cinema, man. This was like
Absolute
hands
cinema.
off the toe week. 8.5 to 9, probably
Mm-hmm.
9. Um I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Pretty good. I gave this a 9. Dude, I was like 9 or 10, dude. Because, again, my whole thing was I was like, okay, like, coming from the perspective of like a manga reader, I was like, yo, Kuma's backstory is like so tragic. Like, they better do it justice. And watching this episode, I was like, yo, they did this episode justice. Like, they did his backstory
Yeah.
justice. And not only that, but like, I thought everything was done very well. Like what you said, the cuts, even like the introduction of like the God Valley, these like little scenes, the text. I was like, wait, this is like it goes crazy because like halfway through this episode, I'm literally like crying, you know, and then it cuts to the God Valley. And I'm like, oh my god, like I just get hype, you know. I
Mm,
literally went from like borderline crying because it goes from his dad getting shot to God Valley, and like the change of emotions for me was like complete 180 from like literally just depressed to like excitement, you know?
yeah.
So I was just like, wait a minute, like not only are they doing the backstory well, but like the introduction and like the hype that they're building around like the next episodes as well as like the continuation of this backstory is like they're doing it really well in my opinion. So I gave this 9 out of 10. Honestly, it for me was almost like a 10 out of 10. I really don't know what they could
Um
have done better besides taking out the Dragon Ball Z like powering up sound effects. That kind of took me out for a second
hey,
at the beginning.
hey, I
But
was
if
just
that's
thinking
my
because
only
I feel like
critique, yo, this was absolute cinema.
yeah, absolute cinema. I mean like a lot of like the quote unquote like 10 to 10 chapter, like 10 to 10 episodes
Mhm.
have some like, you know, unwanted stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like wasn't the like the Gear 5 like reveal, there was that
Mhm.
one part where they were going to Orochi's death, right? And I think I know
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
people were
No, I
like
completely
I
agree
don't
with
want to see
them.
this. I want to go back. But like I would still consider that episode like a 10 out of 10.
Mm,
So I might change mine to 10 out of 10 as well. Because like I
yeah.
really don't know aside from the sound effects,
Like there was like
I
nothing
really don't
bad
know.
about this episode. Like
Nothing
it
bad
was
about this episode.
basically a 10 out of 10. I'm changing my
Yeah.
score now because again, like it went by so fast and also so slow at sometimes. Like it was like the mix of emotions I went through this episode was crazy. I went through like all the stages of grief, like, and then I ended it with like excitement, you know, and hope.
Yeah. Shit,
But
man.
I
Look
know.
forward to 11:30.
I know. And
11:30.
again, next episode we're getting 11:30 and that's God Valley.
Yeah.
That's going to be
So,
such a good episode.
um yeah, I guess that's really it for
Mhm.
now.
Yes.
Uh hope dude. So, what to expect
Mhm.
next episode, next week, whatever.
Yes.
Um, we got a few things planned. I think there's going to be another regular episode coming out next week.
Yep, there's an
Uh,
episode
there is going to be a chapter coming
11:30
out next
and a
week.
chapter. So
Yep,
we will be
spoilers did
reviewing
come
both
out
of those.
recently.
I know they're
The
kind of
spoilers came
crazy.
out, but you guys gotta wait, for for the official release to come out, right, guys?
Mhm.
But yeah. So next week, please look out for the manga release and the episode review.
Mhm.
And also we might be doing some more. We might start our little what's it called? Our our series where we just watch
Yeah.
the movies. We'll talk about the movies. I don't know
Mhm.
how we're gonna do it yet. I don't know if we're just gonna do one video at a time where we talk about each movie, or we're just gonna group them into like threes or twos or something.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it really
yeah, we
depends because I already did a little bit of research on the some of the films. The first the first few films are all pretty short, in which I feel like if we wanted to, we could group them together. But then, especially towards the ends, like they're actually like full length movies, like hour and a half, like you know.
yeah.
So those we might have to break down, but right now we're still working on that. But definitely stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to do that.
Okay. All right, guys, that's it.
Yep.
I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add, but before we go, I want to say this. I want to say a few things into the microphone.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say if you made it this far, thank you, and give us a subscribe. 99% of our viewers,
Yeah.
99% of our viewers are non-subscribers. So please, guys, it helps the channel out, and also to lets us know what is and what isn't working. So please subscribe, like the
Hmm.
video, comment, share it, whatever platform you're listening on, Spotify, Apple, whatever.
Hmm.
Just give us a thumbs up, whatever.
Yep. So I guess until next time, guys.
Till next week. See you guys next week. Peace.